Hello and welcome to Service Desk Academy. Thank you for clicking on this video. I would like to introduce you to our PMP or Project Management Professional Certification Program. My name is Murali. My experience helps me teach project management. I am PMP certified in addition to other certifications in project, program, and service management, plus my extensive relevant work experience. Service Desk Academy focuses on training and consultancy in project management, PMP, Prince2, Six Sigma, Agile, Scrum, PSM that is, SAFe, IT service management, information security management, TOGAF, COBIT, and emerging areas like DevOps and blockchain. Here's our agenda for the next 20 minutes. What is PMP? The benefits of getting certified, nature of the exam, why is training required, what will it cover, and the various modes of training. We will also quickly go through a small topic related to the exam and test our learning. PMP is the leading project management professional certification based on verified relevant experience and an exam by PMI, the Project Management Institute in USA. PMI does a lot of research apart from publishing standards. What you see here are facts researched by them. You can even go to their website www.pmi.org and read these and other reports. PMP gives you the ability to take on challenging projects, thus providing growth to you and your employer. 15 to 20% more earning power depending on your experience. And PMP is recognized globally in all industries. And you will comfortably speak the project management language anywhere. As per PMI, there is a significant gap in supply of qualified project managers. They have researched these facts for project-intensive countries and industries. Now about the exam. It is more than just testing your awareness of concepts and theory. It checks how you can apply your expertise in various situations. It checks your thinking approach, emotional reactions, behaviors, how you handle more than one problem at a time, by prioritization or delegation, for example, and whether you are current in the subject matter. PMI mandates training, which can be e-learning also. Usually, management training workshops incorporate many case studies and discussions. However, the focus here will be understanding concepts with examples, caselets, and more connected to exam success. The training will help you not just for the exam, but also practical application at your workplace. The training will cover everything about project management as per PMI standard and reference publication, Project Management Body of Knowledge 6th edition, also known as the PMBOK Guide or the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. There will be sample questions practiced during the training after every key topic. You will be provided complete exam guidance. It is also important to understand and comply with PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. Some of the exam questions might test your understanding and application of this code. Service Desk Academy offers various modes of training personalized to your needs. You can be in contact with Service Desk Academy for any clarifications during or after your learning. We make an attempt to provide examples from various industries. You will gain confidence to prepare for the exam and pass it. At Service Desk Academy, we feel genuinely satisfied when you are motivated to study further after the training, motivated to practice questions and get certified. Now, I will take you through one of the 7 processes in project risk management and end with a sample question so to get some flavor of the PMP exam. Let us spend about 10 minutes on this. PMI uses a process model for project management. Identify risks is one of the 49 processes under project management, and project risk management is one of the 10 knowledge areas of project management. I have marked the importance of risk management as high because sound risk management is key to project success. Therefore, anything that is key to project success could be important. Wouldn't you agree? By the way, PMI does tell us how the marks are assigned to various project areas. More specifically, how they are assigned among the various process groups. Here, we need to identify 2 types of risks. Number 1, the overall project risk, and number 2, the individual project risks. Think about a project you have worked on or engaged in now. I recollect an IT project developing a sort of transaction processing system. If I go back to the project level risk, an example of this in my case was my organization decided to do the project from a new location outside their main country of operation. So this made the project somewhat risky. For the second one, the project risks, several risks existed in this project, like the possibility of delay in computer hardware shipments, without which the software could not be developed. All this was captured in a risk register and a summary risk report published for the management from time to time. I will show you a sample risk register in a little while. How did I identify these risks? Working with my team, we first gathered scope documents and agreements which had to be reviewed in order to identify risks. So we can call them as inputs to this process. We also considered company procedures and templates for risk identification and documentation, though I have not listed them here. But you will find those listed in the PMBOK guide from PMI, or the project management body of knowledge, that is. Let's look at the techniques now to identify risks. Can you think of a few which you have used? For example, they could be meetings, interviews, formal workshops, brainstorming. You can also use risk checklists, which is a list of items to be verified to ensure that all categories of risks are assessed. Questions like, are there any estimation risks, any supplier risks, and so on. You probably heard of SWOT, S-W-O-T, which is a strategic tool. Let's see how to use it in a project situation. In my situation, the organization had technology strength. So there was an opportunity to deliver a competitive product. However, there was a lack of creativity, so that could hinder innovative designing. Here is a sample risk register. In this process, we have to identify risks, so this process will be repeated throughout the project. The risks should be clearly described with an identifier. It is not essential to specify a response plan and an owner in this process itself, though these may be suggested here because we have other processes to do those things. Risk management has 7 processes in total. In the real world, you might do everything in one go, but for the exam, you have to know how it works step by step in each process. Also note the manner in which the risks have been documented. There is a specific syntax for it. Every risk must describe its cause or reason or the trigger, and then the situation created due to this trigger, called an event, and finally the impact to project objectives due to this event. Let's take risk number 1. Morale loss triggering resignation, leading to activity delays. So we can clearly see the 3 parts here. Morale loss is the trigger or the cause of the risk. Resignation is the event or the situation created because of that cause. Activity delay is the impact due to that risk. And similarly, we have risk number 2, inflation causing material price increase, leading to project budgetary impact. So I've also put here optionally a potential response for risk number 1. There's nothing mentioned for risk number 2, and I also mentioned probable or potential risk owners for number 1 and number 2 risk here. Now, it is time to try an exam type question. All questions in the exam are multiple choice with 4 choices. Here is the question with the 4 answer choices. During the identify risks process for a complex project, a project manager made a long list of risks by reviewing various documents related to the project. He also referred to risk registers of previous similar projects so that no major risks were missed out. He then called for a meeting with key project members who are not project managers to discuss response plans for the risks. What has he done wrong? So quick summary here of the question. It was the project manager himself who made a long list of risks. So please note that that's an important point in the question. And afterwards, he referred, or during the process, he referred risk register of previous similar projects, which to me seems as okay, so that the risk coverage is good enough for this project. After that, he called for a meeting with key project members to discuss response plans for the risks. Members who were not managers Is that okay? Just to me, it seems to be okay, but let's see what has he done wrong. Option A. The project manager should have defined the scope before identifying the risks. In this option, if I go back to the question, it is not mentioned whether scope was defined or not. So we cannot assume that scope was not defined. So I'm assuming that yes, probably the scope was defined. Therefore, if that's the case, then this answer is ruled out. Option B, more people should have been involved in the identify risks process. To me, this is a possible answer because risk identification should not have been done just by the project manager. More so because this is a complex project. So we do need other members to participate in the risk identification discussions. Anyway, let's check option C and D. Option C. The project manager should have created basic workarounds before calling for the meeting, as it is not a good practice to ask non-management team members to involve in project risk management. If I look at the second part, it's not a good practice to ask non-managers. I won't agree to that because it's all right because we do need the non-management staff to take part in owning risks or taking actions for risks. The first part of this option is the PM should have created basic workarounds before calling for the meeting. Yeah, I don't think it's compulsory for the PM to create some response proposals like workaround before coming to the meeting because they can be discussed in the meeting with everyone and then everyone can propose and then conclude on the response plans. So this would not be the answer. Option D, nothing has been done wrong by the project manager as each project has its own unique way of managing it. Yes, I would agree that every project has its unique way of managing it, but I won't fully agree with this statement that nothing has been done wrong here. Because if you look at option B, it says more people should have been involved in this process. So let's go with option B and see what the answer is. Therefore, as you see here, B is indeed the answer. When you take the training, you will learn that the next step after identifying risks is to analyze them qualitatively and then quantitatively. Therefore, there is one more thing done wrongly here. The PM has directly jumped to response planning after risk identification. However, we do not see this in the answer options. Otherwise, there would be two correct answers, meaning jumping from risk identification to response planning is not okay because the qualitative and the quantitative analysis have been missed out. And if you remember, I said every question has only one correct answer and all the questions are multiple choice questions. There are 200 questions to attempt in 4 hours or 240 minutes, which give you a little over 1 minute per question. Now, that is demanding, isn't it? Some questions might require just a few seconds, while others many more minutes to answer. What is the next step for you? As per your convenience, either email Service Desk Academy, phone us, or post a message at our website by filling a form. We hope you like this introduction and it connects with your aspirations. Thank you for watching. We will be excited to see you soon in the training. Wishing you success and happiness.